The educational work at the Melk Memorial is usually very discursive. We want to get into conversation with the group participants and discuss the questions relevant to them. Together we ask what the history of the Melk Subcamp means for each individual today. Very important is the question of the possible scopes of action of individual actors inside the concentration camp system. Using biographical examples of victims, perpetrators or bystanders, we try to convey that even in the totalitarian Nazi regime there was certain, albeit very limited, scopes of action for individual persons. At previous stations, the talk was mostly of men who had committed massive crimes in Melk, whether it was SS medic Gottlieb Muzikant, who deliberately murdered prisoners in the infirmary with fuel syringes, or camp leader Julius Ludolph, who sometimes drove the prisoners out of their bunk beds in the middle of the night in a drunken state and forced them to perform senseless physical exercises on the roll call square. Or it was the Air Force soldier Karl Fleck, who repeatedly maltreated the prisoners on the roll call square. But could these three men have acted differently? And what consequences might it have had for them if they had behaved differently, more restrained, or more human? Of course, we cannot discuss such questions in a video, but I would like to raise these questions nevertheless and encourage you to reflect on them yourselves. But I would also like to give you a positive example from the history of the Camp Melk, namely the role of the former Melk camp doctor Josef Sora, who was transferred here as an Air Force officer shortly after the air raid on Melk in the summer of 1944. Sora remained in positive memories for many prisoners, such as the former Melk prisoner doctor Guy Lemordin.
The district of the Melk Field Command was under the direction of a doctor, first lieutenant of the Luftwaffe regarding all medical matters. This doctor, who was from Vienna, was neither an SS member nor a Nazi, nor German, and did roughly what he could do for the sick prisoners. There was not much he could do, since the SS organization maintained absolute control over discipline and work.
The former Melk prisoner Klaus Salomon also expressly praised Sora's role in Melk.
Dr. Sora was a good, decent, helpful and cooperative doctor and human being. With deep regret he had to realize again and again that he could only do little to comply with the camp regulations and especially with the accused Muzikant. How small Dr. Sora's powers were, because he was not a member of the SS, can best be seen from the fact that Muzikant was able to say publicly on several occasions, "If the Luftwaffe uncle continues to stick together with you, criminal vermin, then I will bring him to the gallows myself."
Sora quickly gained the trust of the prisoners, whom he addressed very respectfully and sometimes in their mother tongue. He supported the predominantly French prisoner resistance in the camp to the best of his ability, although the SS camp administration treated him with mistrust. Sora succeeded in procuring a radio for the inmates, smuggling medicines into the protective custody camp, and initiated a bread roasting facility for the diarrhea patients. In January 1945, Sora denounced, in a report to the medical department of the Camp Mauthausen, the serious deficiencies in equipment and nutrition that prevailed in the Melk subcamp. Since 2002, a square in the center of Melk has been dedicated to Dr. Josef Sora. In the next part of our tour, we will focus to the evacuation of the Melk camp, which took place between the 11th and 15th of April 1945.